Every week, I record a new segment to just say thank you to our social media all-stars. And truly, I could phone this in. I could make one announcement that runs the entire month. But it's so important to me to say thank you to the men and the women who like, who share, who leave comments. For an organization of our size, the support that you're providing is making a massive difference. And I want to acknowledge you. Thank you so much for your support. And thank you. You always choose an amazing clip that we can share socially. Thank you. You guys are really part of the backbone of helping us get the word out about UPCHURCH.
together for my good. All things work together for my good.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to our virtual service. I am so grateful that you're here. I appreciate the fact that you could have been anywhere at this point in time, but you chose to spend time with us. Let's affirm together, family. Everything is working together for my good. Everything is working together for my good. Thank you, worship team. We appreciate you. You guys always knock it out of the park. You're amazing, so amazing. Thank you. All right, a couple of housekeeping things. I'm Reverend Sherri James, and I'm the Senior Minister of Understanding Principles Church, or AKA UPCHURCH. We are a growing global community of spiritual seekers. If you are here for the first time, or if this is not your first time, would you like, subscribe, and share? If you're watching on YouTube, leave us a comment. That makes a difference. Make sure you hit that like button and definitely hit that share button and pass this on to someone. You never know whose life you are going to bless because of you just simply hitting a share button. If you're watching on Facebook, same thing. Make sure that you that you set yourself up to receive notifications from our page, facebook.com/upchurch, and definitely make sure that you share this video. Thank you. We appreciate that. It is such a small thing, but it makes such a huge difference. All right, let's take a moment to open the service in prayer. Would you pray with me? Father, Mother, God, we thank you for a powerful, transformational service. We know that everything is working together for our good. We know that we are blessed beyond measure to have life, to be above ground, to have all the good that you have supplied us. And Spirit, I just bless us right now to open up for an even greater experience. We know that lavish abundance is the character of you, God. And we open our hearts and our minds to experience that plenty, to experience that good, to enjoy it on every level. I thank you, God, for equipping us. I bless this service to support that release of the divine splendor within. May we always know that everything is working together for our good. And Spirit, I'm always conscious that someone may not be in that space where they are feeling good about themselves or about their lives. And so I want to pray a special prayer for those that may be hurting, that may be suffering right now. I ask that the joy that we express in this service be infectious and have a lasting impact on them so that they are able to come up out of a depressed state. And I know that that's possible. And I thank you for allowing this service to be utilized in that way. I thank you, God, for all that you've done for me individually, for us collectively, and for us as a spiritual body. In the name and in the nature and the consciousness of I am, this prayer is so, and so it is. I'm so pleased that you are here. I really just want to acknowledge your presence and to say thank you for continuing to show up with us. We're entering a new territory right now as a spiritual community, and it is going to stretch us. I'm aware of that. It is going to stretch us. We're going to have to come out of our comfort zones. But I know that we can do it, and I'm so glad that you are a part of that. Let me share with you our vision, because that while the circumstances of how we do worship may have shifted temporarily, the vision that guides us is steady. Our vision is to love every person up to their true identity and to their highest potential for the greater good of all. And we are on a mission to express God's divine love through teaching spiritual principles, worship services, fellowship activities, and community outreach. And our theme this year is Open Your Mind. Now, this is a powerful theme that we chose because we know that in order to have more, our minds have to be stretched. How we think of ourselves has to grow, has to expand. And my sermon today is based around the Disney film, The Princess and the Frog. And my sermon title is Kiss the Frog. Kiss the Frog. And it's such it was a wonderful story. If you haven't seen it, don't worry, I'll give you a little synopsis about it. But it really speaks to where we are right now as a spiritual community. Now, a couple of months ago, we voted as a community to remain virtual while we look for our own space. And we're going to have monthly in-person gatherings because we know how important that fellowship piece is. And some of those will be things like what we did yesterday with the party in the park, but there will also be some worship experiences and then just some fun game night kinds of experiences. So we are putting together ideas because we know how important it is for us to come together, and we will get to fellowship together as we progress toward our building. And I know that, that this may be an uncomfortable period for us. And I get that. I totally get that. And that's why my sermon is called Kiss the Frog, because sometimes you got to kiss the frog and go on the adventure that kissing the frog takes you on. And so I recognize that in this moment, kissing the frog means letting go of the traditional way that we think about church, letting go so that we can have something greater. The truth is that the best is yet to come. That's the truth. The best is yet to come. And it is a faith journey that we're taking together. But I'm so happy to be taking this journey with you because I know that who we will be on the other side of this will be so amazing that we will blow our own minds. And so I thank you for taking this journey with us. Let's take a moment to just come apart very quietly, very briefly, and just affirm that everything is working together for our good. At all times, the power and the presence of God expresses through you, to you, and as you. Let's take a moment to sit comfortably in our seats and allow the awareness that God is all there is to permeate every cell of our beings. May we affirm quietly to ourselves, everything is working together for my good. Everything is working together for my good. Take a deep breath and let that affirmation fill you. Everything is working together for my good. As that awareness drops deeper and deeper into your subconscious mind, know with clarity that everything is working together for my good. Take a deep breath. Feel the calmness that washes over you. You know that you know that you know that everything is working together for my good. Take another deep breath. And another breath. Feel the tension leave your shoulders, your back, the brow, the jaw. Everything loosens up. Everything is working together for my good. There is a peace that surrounds you. Everything is working together for my good. There's a calmness that is now your character because you know that you know that you know that everything is working together for my good. Take a deep breath. One more deep breath. And on this last breath, let's open our eyes. And know with clarity that everything is working together for our good. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Sherri, for that beautiful, beautiful meditation. I tell you, there is nothing like coming apart, relaxing into God's care. I'm Reverend Sheree, and I am so excited to be here. I serve as the assistant minister here at UPCHURCH, and it's my joy to be with you today. I get the opportunity to say welcome to you. I hope that you've been feeling the loving energy of this ministry just so far as we've been moving through our service. But if you haven't, I want you to open up just a little bit wider today. Open up just a little bit more right now so that you can experience the love fest that is available to you. We are intending passionately and deliberately to love you up to your true potential. And so I'm here to let you know that I'm sure you're going to hear something that's going to make you feel good, that's going to maybe stir up some things on the inside, this desire for us to grow and expand to be more than what we've ever been before. You see, that's a clue that you're ready to grow spiritually. And I want to encourage you to consider growing spiritually here with UPCHURCH. We are a loving, caring ministry, and we would love to have you as part of the UPCHURCH family. So here's what you need to do. Just let us know that you are interested. Let us know that, this could be the place I could grow spiritually. And we'll give you your next steps. We're so grateful that you found us. We're so grateful that you've come this one time, or maybe you've come again and again and again, but on behalf of all the UPCHURCH family, of all of the visitors that come time and time again, I say welcome. And we want to get to know you. We want to wrap our arms around you, even in this virtual environment. And we do that by introducing ourselves to one another by our spiritual names. So I'm going to ask you all to participate in this. All that you do is put your I am next to a quality of God. Now, we've been doing this for over a year. And I know some of you think, I don't need to do this anymore. People know who I am. People know what that I am the child of God in whom he's well pleased. People know that. But I want to invite you to tell yourself the truth about yourself to yourself right now. Don't let a moment go by where you don't unite yourself on a whole level, wholly, with the power and presence of God. I double dare you to do it. So just put I am next to a quality of God. I am power. Tell me your spiritual name. And so you can write that in the chat. You can put it in the comments. You can speak it out loud. Just make sure the moment doesn't go by where you don't declare who you really are, so we can see who's worshiping here at Up Church together. I'm so grateful that you're here. And what's coming up next, we're going to continue to feed you spiritually as we move through this service. And so what's coming up next is our daily inspiration for better living. And I believe that it's going to be Jack Roberts who's going to read the DI today. He is one of our board members and one of our prayer chaplains, and he's a teacher in training. And so we're so excited to have Jack here today to share with you.
Good morning, Up Church family. Today's daily inspiration is entitled, Be Willing. Willfulness is about mental force. Willingness is about spiritual flow. In creating your own life, you must not only know what you want, but you must be flexible about the way that it comes into form. The flow of life demands flexibility because it is forever seeking to work through the uniqueness that we are. We must be willing to flow with life, for it is filled with opportunities which we cannot recognize or hear when we are determined that our good must happen in an exact way, when we are being willful. Yes, we must know what we want, but we must also be open to letting our inner self reveal pathways we may have overlooked or been unaware of. When we are intent on making it all happen as we have determined, we exclude ourselves from divine wisdom. Letting go of the stubbornness of our way sets us free to travel on God's highway. Be willing. And our scripture is taken from Luke 22:42. Not my will, but yours.
Thank you, Jack, for that beautiful daily inspiration. So I'm back with you to give you your affirmation of power. So I'm going to read the affirmation first, and then we're going to affirm together. Now, it's really important that you open yourself up for this. I want you to hear these words so that when you speak them, you're already in relationship with them, okay? So here we go. I dwell in the secret place of the Most High, and I abide under the shadow of the Almighty. The power of the Lord is my refuge and my fortress. I trust God. The wisdom of God guides and directs me, so I shall not be afraid of the unknown. Because God is all power, all love, and all wisdom everywhere present, I am protected. No matter what appears, I know the truth. I love God. I am living my divine purpose. Everything is working together for my abundance. Everything is working together for my health. Everything is working together for my peace. Everything is working together for my love. Everything is working together for my good. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is. All right, you ready, family? Let's affirm this together. I dwell in the secret place of the Most High, and I abide under the protection of the Almighty. The power of the Lord is my refuge and my fortress. I trust God. The wisdom of God guides and directs me, so I shall not be afraid of the unknown. Because God is all power, all love, and all wisdom, everywhere present, I am protected. No matter what appears, I know the truth. I love God. I am living my divine purpose. Everything is working together for my abundance. Everything is working together for my health. Everything is working together for my peace. Everything is working together for my love. Everything is working together for my good. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is. Now, this affirmation of power was chosen deliberately for this time in this space. I want you to work with this. Do not go out of your house. Do not leave your car. Do not leave any specifics. Don't change places without praying this prayer of protection. Take any line from it. Sometimes you need to be reminded that because God is all the power, all the love, and all the wisdom everywhere present, I am protected. I may need to know that as I go to grocery shopping. I may need to know that as I get behind my car, or maybe as I negotiate a business deal. I may need to remember that I'm under God's protection. And so I want you to work with this affirmation of power throughout the month. Just grab the line that hits you. Grab the line that you know, that one I needed to hear. I needed to remember that everything is working together for my health. And so I want you to work with this month. It only works if you work it. And so now I'm going to turn the service over to Reverend Sherri, who has a real cool announcement about our upcoming adventure in faith.
Hey there, Reverend Sherri here with some breaking news. I just wanted to come in and give you the name for our next sermon series. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. It is called Move into Your Promised Land, an Adventure in Faith. Move into your promised land. This is going to be an amazing series. Now, you guys know how we do these kinds of things. And we've got all kinds of things that we're going to be sharing with you, but we're going to be talking about unfolding in 7 key areas in your life. In the spiritual area, mental, emotional, physical, social, relational, vocational, and financial. This is such a powerful series, and I want you to be a part of it, but I want you to tell your friends about it because it's going to be amazing. Can't wait to get it started next month.
Paul says, as he wrote in the scriptures, I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed to both be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. So that dream that you got, those goals you got in mind, that illness that you're grappling with. I remember the words of Jesus when he said, pick up your bed and walk. Through Christ, I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I rejoice, Lord, in your presence as it is made perfect in me. I can do all things through Christ. Oh, he strengthens me, strengthens me. I can do all things. Every little thing, everything I need, all my dreams and desires. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Yeah. Rejoice, Lord, oh, in your presence, as your power, it supplies all of my needs, all of my needs, all of my needs. I rejoice, Lord, even sometimes in my weakness, as your strength is made perfect in me. I can do all things, every little thing I dream about, every little thing I think about, all the things that the Lord has in store for me that I know is mine and only mine to do. I can do them, I can do them, I can do every little thing, all things. I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ. Who strengthens me. All things.
Thank you, worship team. That was absolutely exquisite. Absolutely exquisite. I love and appreciate that we get to experience you every week. Thank you so much for the gift of your talent. Thank you for the contribution that you make to UPCHURCH. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, family, I have been in this Disney mode. It's summertime. We're visiting Disneyland, and I figured, let me get some little inspiration from Disney, that creative genius that birthed these things that we enjoy today. And so one of the stories that I really latched on to is The Princess and the Frog. And my sermon today is entitled, Kiss the Frog, Embrace the Journey. Kiss the frog, embrace the journey. And my guiding scripture is Luke 12:32. Do not be afraid, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Do not be afraid. It's your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. And my thesis for this sermon is that the journey to your dream will not travel along a straight line. The journey to your dream will not travel along a straight line. Now, let me give you a little summary of The Princess and the Frog. Our main character is Tiana, and she is born into a loving family, and she has a really special relationship with her dad. They both love cooking, and they dream collectively of opening a restaurant that would be called Tiana's Place. Cut to the future, Tiana's father has died. We don't know how, but we just know that he has. And we see her as an adult working as a waitress, saving every penny, putting aside every spare nickel that she may have in order to purchase a building that will be Tiana's Place. And eventually she reaches the point where she has collected all of the money that is enough to purchase the building. But just when she's made the deal with the realtor, and she learns that she has been outbid. And so all of those years of saving to make this dream come alive that she and her father had dreamed together, just feels like it's lost. And she is just distraught. And she prays, please, like, I have done all that I know to do. And so at this moment, when all seems lost, a frog that can talk shows up. And the frog claims to be a prince and promises that in exchange for a kiss, which will turn him back into a prince, that he will give her the money that she needs. And at this point, it's like, what else am I going to do? Work another 10 years to like find a new building and raise the additional money? Like, what else am I going to do? And what's the worst thing that can happen? I kiss the frog. So she kisses the frog, takes a leap. Now, the thing is that when she kisses the frog doesn't turn into a prince, but instead Tiana turns into a frog. But here's the beautiful thing about destiny being fulfilled. Unencumbered by the burden of fulfilling her and her father's dream, which of course she can't do as a frog, Tiana is now free enough in her mind to open herself up for love. She and the frog prince fall in love, and they go on this adventure to learn or figure out how to turn themselves back into human. And when they kiss for the second time, they both come back to their human forms. But of course, they are changed. And so I have 3 points that I pulled from this story that I want to share with you. Just metaphysics. The first point is that there are no straight lines. There are no straight lines. The second point is that you may have to kiss a few frogs along the way. You just might. And point number 3, let go and enjoy the journey. Let go and enjoy the journey. And so point number 1, there are no straight lines. There are no straight lines. Often we want our dreams to travel a straight line from our imagined experience to our lived experience. We want what we see to show up with as little effort as possible. And what I have found in my own experience, this may not be true for you, but here, let me work on me. What I have found in my own experience is that very often I will look at a particular path and I can't see how it can lead to where I desire to be. And so I don't take action. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if that's you. Give me a heart, a high five, a thumbs up. I look down what seems like a path and I think that somehow it is not going to lead me to where I be. So I'm always looking for, or I have a tendency, how about that? A tendency to look for what seems like the obvious route. But I want you to get that there are no straight lines in nature. And what we want to begin to do is to trust that whatever has shown up is the opportunity. See, we have to get to the place where we become aware that opportunity is everywhere evenly present. Why? Because opportunity comes from God, and God is everywhere evenly present. So if it has appeared, not that I don't have the right to say no to it, I absolutely do. But even if I say yes to it, it does not take me off track because everything works together for my good. Too often we are afraid to start down a path because we can't see where our starting point leads to our desired ending point. And so what we have to have the bold, courageous audacity to do is to take the step and trust that everything is working together for my good. Tiana had saved everything that she could. She had put off hanging out with friends. She had put aside buying niceties for herself. She just used just enough money to live, and everything else went into savings. And she had reached the point where she had saved the dollar amount needed to purchase the space, but then she was outbid. There are no straight lines. And I know that we have each had that kind of experience where we have given all that we knew to give. And we felt like when we reached our end point, that the thing that we were reaching for was somehow supposed to fall in our laps. And the thing that we have to get is that we do not own outcomes. We only own actions. We do not own outcomes. We only own actions. There is this process that's happening in the day-to-day action where we are being changed at the core of our being. We can't see it because it's happening on such a small, incremental way, but we have to know that we are shifting as we begin to put forth action. And we have to detach from needing those actions to lead to our desired result, because they may or they may not. The learning, the becoming that our souls have to go through in order to have what is rightfully ours may not be completed by the actions that we can think to take. All that Tiana could think to do was work and put the money aside, work and put the money aside, work and put the money aside. And that could have gotten her there if that's what her soul needed. But her soul experience, what was going to get her to her highest good, what was going to bring out the absolute highest and best in her, was more than simply working and putting the money aside. There are no straight lines in nature. This is why you have to trust spirit. Because the path from where you desire to be, and from where you are to where you desire to be, is not going to be a straight line. There simply are no straight paths. And this is so important for us right now because we are taking a faith step as a spiritual community to step out and be virtual until we find our divine right space. And that's going to require us to know that there are no straight lines in nature. It would be great if we walked out the door today and tomorrow someone said, here's your space at a price that you can afford. But there is a becoming process that we have to understand together collectively and individually, that where we are going will not be a straight beeline from one space to the next. It could, not saying it cannot, but I'm not attached to it being that. I'm not attached to that. Because why? Because I don't own outcomes. I only own actions. Are my actions in integrity with where I desire to go? And if they are in integrity with where I desire to go, then I can trust that it is my Father's good pleasure to give me the kingdom. Said differently, all that you could ever want wants you. I want you to get that the Christ of our being collectively has already become the vibrational equivalent of the building that we are seeking. The God in us has already become the people who can inhabit the space that we are asking for. And so now it's only a matter of the rest of us catching up with it. There's a frequency, a way that we have to talk, a way that we have to think, a way that we have to feel, a way that we have to act, a way that we have to react in order to be the people who can have the building that's already been created. And the journey from where we are today to where we desire to be may not be a straight line. Why? Because there are no straight lines in nature. there are no straight lines in the universe. And so we have to have the audacity to kiss the frog. And so point number 2, you may have to kiss a few frogs along the way. That's it. You know, it was so funny because at the top of the movie, Tiana learns the story of the Frog Prince as a little girl, and her declaration is that I'm not kissing any frogs. Nope, not happening. Nope. And the thing is that the journey to her dream, the frog shows up a couple times. The journey to her dream involved kissing the frog. And so it was the 3rd time that the frog showed up that she finally kissed the frog and surrendered to the journey that a kiss with a frog brings you. And her thought was that, well, I'm going to kiss this frog and he's going to turn into a prince and he's going to give me the money and everything is going to be fine and I'm going to live happily ever after with my restaurant, Tiana's Place. We have to surrender to the journey that a kiss with a frog takes us on. Right now, we are collectively kissing the frog of being a virtual church. And we are taking the journey that kissing the frog is going to take us on. And it's going to make us uncomfortable. I appreciate, I saw someone in the comments last week. I appreciate your comment and I feel you deeply. But what I know for sure is that there is a stretching that we have to do as a community. And I know with clarity that we can do it. And sometimes we may do it knees shaking, looking back saying, is this okay? But I think about the children in the wilderness, the adults in the wilderness, that when they struck out from Egypt, when they struck out from everything that they had known, even though what they knew wasn't what they really enjoyed, but it was the known world. That when they struck out, they didn't know the path that they would need to take in order to move into their promised land. They had to trust that the journey was going to take them there, and they had to put one foot in front of the other and continue to walk forward, to continue to do the work. There was a becoming process that they had to go through in order to become the people. But it was not a straight line where they walked out of Egypt and into the promised land. There was a becoming process where there were lessons that they were learning so that they could become the people who pass down this tradition that we still follow to this day. So don't look at this moment as, how are we doing this? Know that there is a spiritual resilience that is being birthed through us right now. And remember, the things that we get, they work together for our good. They absolutely bless us, but we are always planting seeds for a tree under whose shade none of us may sit. Please know that we are building something for the future. And we have to let go of Egypt in order to move into Canaan. Canaan did not open its doors until they left Egypt. Until they spent that time in the wilderness becoming the people who could go in and possess the land. Oh, I hope you're hearing me. There are lessons on the journey that are a part of helping you move into your promised land. And you can't get those lessons in Egypt because you're too distracted by the creature comforts that Egypt is providing. Mind you, you're being beat and all that, and it's not great, but there's still creature comforts. We're creatures of habit. The brain itself doesn't like change. It wants to stay in the familiar, but we are asking to move into the extraordinary. Our soul, that desire, there's an upward impulse of the soul. We are always asking to move into the extraordinary. And moving into the extraordinary means letting go of the ordinary. It means letting it go completely with everything in you and stepping out. And I believe that we have the courage to do that. I believe that we have the courage to kiss this frog and embrace the journey. And I don't know what other frogs are along the pathway. But what I do know is that everything works together for my good. Everything works together for our good. It is our Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. Here's the thing. How do you think you learn that? How do you think you learn that it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom? See, you can tell me that you have patience, but until you demonstrate patience in the face of something that would challenge your patience, you don't really know if you have patience. So you don't really know that it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom until you take that leap of faith and step out. You don't know that everything is working together for my good until you take that leap of faith and step out. Listen, it would be so easy to continue things as they are, but I was not created to be ordinary, and neither were you. And so my message today, pucker up. Pucker up. Don't be afraid to kiss this frog. You don't know who we will be on the other side. But what I do know is the best is yet to come. What I do know is that my highest self has not yet been revealed. Neither ear nor eye has seen or heard what God has prepared for those who love him. You know, you follow what you love. It hasn't been seen or heard what will be. But we have to have the audacity to take the journey. And I know we have that as a community. There's a unity that will be built because of how we will have to figure out how to come together in this moment. There is a spiritual resilience that will be birthed through us because of how we have to come together in this moment. That we will truly have to be the ecclesia, the called out. We will truly have to demonstrate that the church is not the four walls, but it is the idea of it that lives in you, that lives in me. But you don't know that you know that until you have to prove that. And so point number 3, let go and enjoy the journey. Let go and enjoy the journey. I said this before, the presence of God in us, the moment that we dream the idea of our own space. And I want you to get, this is not a new dream. We're simply the generation to make it happen. This is not a new dream. We are the generation to make it happen. We're not the first people in our community to put together a building fund. We're simply the first to burn the boats at Normandy and step out on faith. This is not a new dream. This idea of our own space has been traveling through time. And those of you that have been here since the beginning or very early in the ministry, you remember conversations about the building. And the beauty of this is that God kept you around to show you how you get it. Isn't that something? God is always calling us never-endingly toward our highest and best. And so our job is to let go. To let go and enjoy the journey. Tiana's Place, the restaurant that Tiana wanted to open, it was a reality the moment that Tiana and her dad dreamed it. You know, in New Thought, we make a distinction between reality and existence. That reality is that potential, that never-ending potential that is always there. And the existence is what you can taste, touch, see, feel, hear with your five senses. And the journey of becoming is how you move things from reality, from the invisible into existence, the visible. The moment that Tiana and her dad dreamed of the restaurant itself became a living reality, a living, vibrating reality. Now, there was a becoming process to make it a lived experience. And so the building that is ours already exists, or already was a living reality the moment that Reverend Della and that team dreamed it. But there is a becoming process that has to happen in order for us to move into the space. And we are simply at the step where we are willing to kiss the frog. We are simply at the step where we are willing to kiss the frog. The power of imagination, the power of our imagination is that the moment that we desire a thing, the moment that we imagine a thing, the Christ of our being becomes a vibrational equivalent. And what happens is that we keep imagining and imagining and imagining and thinking about it and talking about it and taking action towards it. And what that does is that builds momentum. And we can't say when or how or who it will come about. We don't have the details of how it will unfold. But we know that as we build the momentum, it will tip out of the invisible into the visible. And what we have to have is the spiritual awareness that outside circumstances have no power to stop momentum. Outside circumstances have zero power to stop momentum. What stops momentum is that we get off the journey and get involved with the outside circumstances. What I know for sure is that there are going to be naysayers all along the way. This is the journey that I have to take as a leader. There are going to be naysayers all along the way. There are going to be second guessers all along the way. Get ready. Sherry. Pucker up. But what breaks momentum is getting involved with the naysayers, getting involved with the second guessers and the doubters. Outside circumstances have zero power to stop momentum. And so every day it is about surrendering to the journey, surrendering to the moment. What has shown up? Oh, that must be the frog that we're meant to kiss right now. Because what I know for sure is that it's my Father's good pleasure to give me the kingdom. Everything that I want already wants me. Everything everything that I want already is already a living reality. And it's just a matter of me becoming the person who can bring it into existence. And that's where we are. That's where we are as a spiritual community. And we have the ability, we have the spiritual capacity to move beyond this moment, to bring into expression the seeming impossible. We will have to grow. I'm so clear about that. That's why we have Adventure in Faith coming up, Move into Your Promised Land. We're going to be talking to you about that growth. This is a growth process for all of us. This is a growing edge for all of us. But what I know for sure is that we have the ability to do it. And when we move into our space, we will know that we have something that we can pass on for generations to come. And they will tell the story. This will be part of the legend, the lore of UPCHURCH. How we manifested this amazing space. I truly want you to know that the best is yet to come. So let's review. The journey to your dream is never going to travel along a straight line, ever. Stop looking for that straight line. They don't exist in nature, and they won't exist for your dream. Point number one, there are no straight lines in nature. So you are not off track. You are not off track. What you're on is your unique path to your good. Point number two, you may have to kiss a few frogs along the way. Pucker up. Embrace the frogs you have to kiss. They are leading you to your ultimate good. Point number three, let go and enjoy the journey. Make each moment fun and rich. And we did that yesterday with the picnic. Make each day just joyous. Joyous. And you do that by stop resisting the path. If this is the path that has shown up, and I'm saying yes to it because this is the path that's here and I'm trusting God, then don't fight the path. I don't want to be on the path any longer than I need to be on the path. I'm willing to take the journey. And I'm willing to take the journey with you. I hope you're willing to take it with me. God bless you.
Good afternoon, understanding principle. Are y'all ready to celebrate? Come on. Everybody. Come on, clap your hands now. I know you're at home. Come on, let's celebrate together. Are you ready? Hey! All my brothers.
Hold on, my brothers, don't give up.
Hold on, my sisters.
Hold on, my sisters, just look up.
There's a master plan.
There is a master plan in store for you.
All right, family, now is the time to set the law of giving and receiving into action for yourself.
I give in love. I give in love, love, love. All that I have and all I receive will be multiplied. I'm in the flow. I'm in the flow, flow, flow. I'm sending it out and it's coming back in. He supplies my every need.
We've made it easy for you to support Understanding Principles. You can text the word UPCHURCH to 73256 to complete your gift. You can use Cash App. Our Cash App ID is $UPCHURCHLA. You can also go to our website, upchurch.org. Choose the button Give Online. And finally, the mail still works. You can mail your gift to Understanding Principles, 600 West Queen Street, Inglewood, California, 90301.
I give in love. I give in love, love, love. All that I have and all I receive will be multiplied. I'm in the flow. I'm in the flow, flow, flow. I'm sending it out and it's coming back in. He supplies my every need.
Let's bless our offerings. Read along with me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love and I trust God. All right, let's add a declaration with that. I am in the flow. I give generously and I receive lavishly. My Father, Mother, God supplies all my needs. I am divinely supplied. All right, family. Thank you so much for your support. Let's have some announcements and then I'll be back to close this out. Every week, I record a new segment to just say thank you to our social media all-stars. And truly, I could phone this in. I could make one announcement that runs the entire month. But it's so important to me to say thank you to the men and the women who like, who share, who leave comments. For an organization of our size, the support that you're providing is making a massive difference. And I want to acknowledge you. Thank you so much for your support. And thank you. You always choose an amazing clip that we can share socially. Thank you. You guys are really part of the backbone of helping us get the word out about UPCHURCH. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so pleased that you chose to spend today with us. And I would be remiss if I did not say thank you. We had so much fun at our first party in the park. What an amazing experience that was. I'm so grateful, just deeply grateful that you chose to spend yesterday with us. And thank you to our Global Connections Ministry. We had so much fun online. This has been such an incredible experience. And listen, everything that we do, there's always going to be an in-person component and an online component, because we are not just an in-person church, but we are a global ministry with members around the world. And so I'm so grateful that yesterday was such an amazing success. Thank you so much. That was so good. And the food was good. The food was good. I got my spades game in. Listen, that's all I needed. That's all I needed, good food and a good spades game. And I'm happy. Everything else, it could have fallen apart. The clown was so wonderful for the kids. It was wonderful. And I was so happy to see everyone. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I'm so glad that we got a chance to spend time together. All right. I want to take a moment to bless you, to just send you forward with the love and the light of God going before you, protecting you, preparing the way for you, and the presence and the power of God watching over you and protecting you. I bless you to take this lesson and make it practical in your experience, to recognize that it's your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. I pray God's blessings on your experience this week, that you are able to withstand whatever shows up in your experience, and that you're not afraid of it and resisting it, but you're embracing it. Let's take our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And so it is. All right, family, I will see you in the after party. Have a blessed day.